Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a really wonderful day. I know my day's off to a really great start. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into our lesson. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen with you here in just a minute. We're going to be talking all about place value, okay? So we're specifically going to be talking about place value and the importance of each digit and the place value that it holds. We're going to be representing that by using some base 10 blocks to really understand the representation of each digit and just to fully understand better the three different groups that we're going to be really focusing on for this lesson. So why do we use base 10 blocks when working with place value? So right here we have three different groups of blocks, okay? So we have our ones group, we have our tens group, and our hundreds group, okay? So those are the three different place values. Base 10 blocks really help us with place value because they allow us to see the amount of objects that each digit holds, okay? So when we have the number, let's just say we have the number 111, okay? We would represent the number 111 just by this image right here. We would have one group of ones to represent the 1 in our ones column. We have the 11, the 10 part, the 1. Let me draw this out. So if I had the number 111, I would have my hundreds column, my tens column, and my ones column, okay? Just like this. So H, T, and O, okay? So that stands for hundreds, tens, and ones. I would have in my hundreds column, just like our photo here, I would have one group of hundreds. So I would draw one big square. And I'm not going to draw all of the hundreds in it because that's a lot to do. But you would have 100 in it. So we can even write the number 100 so we know that this means 100 cubes. I would have one group of tens. So this one I can draw for sure. So I would have one group of tens. Okay, just like that. And I know that's true because there is 10 little cubes in this one group of 10. Okay, so this is my group. In purple, I'm going to highlight the group. Just like for the 100, this is my group. Inside of it is how much is in the group, okay? So now for my ones, I just have one group of ones. So it would look just like this, making this photo image represent 111, okay? So I have one group of hundreds, one group of tens, and one group of ones. So this is the importance of base 10 blocks because they really help us to see visually and represent the amount that each digit holds and that each place value holds, okay? So the three place value digits that we're going to be focusing on, or the three different place values, are going to be our ones, tens, and hundreds column. So what is my number? Okay, so here, let's go ahead and start the big portion of our lesson today. So we are going to be guessing what number we have created. Okay, so it says I have 100s. Okay, so I know I have 100s here. I'm going to put that in my hundreds column. Oh, it looks like it's hiding behind there. So I have 100s. We can put that right here. I have one group of tens. So I'm going to put that right here. And I have one group of ones, okay? Just like this. This right here, oh, two tens. So we would draw 2 10s and 2 1s. Now this tells me, okay, I have one group of 1s, I have 2 groups of 10s, and I have 100. So 100s, I'm gonna draw the number 1. And then I have 2 10s, so I'm gonna write the number 2. And I have 2 1s, so I'm going to write the number 2. So that means my number is 122. Okay, so by representing with base 10 blocks, we can see that this number sentence, 100s, 2 10s, and 2 1s was represented by base 10 blocks. Now, if we write that number out in standard form, it's telling us it's 122. All right. So now we're going to move on to our second problem, and we're going to guess now what number is this, okay? So my number sentence reads, so go ahead and let's do this together. You are going to write this chart that you see right here. So if you have one marker, go ahead and grab that. You're just going to draw one big chart like the one that I'm drawing, and I will model this for you. I'll stop sharing my screen for a second so you can see. So we have our hundreds column. We have our tens column. We have our ones column. All you need for this activity is just one pen or pencil, a piece of paper, and go ahead and draw this chart. Okay, so we have our hundreds column, we have our tens column, and our ones. You are going to be drawing the amount of blocks, and then you're going to be writing the number, okay? So we will do this together. Don't be confused. I'll walk you right through it, okay? So for this one, it says, what is my number? I have the card that reads 100s, 3 10s, and 4 1s, okay? So I have 100s, so I'm going to draw my hundreds in my box. So go ahead and draw your hundreds in your hundreds column. Remember, do not draw out all of those little squares. You could just go ahead and like this, I wrote 100. For your tens, it says I have 3 10s. So we're gonna go ahead and draw 3 10s. So 1, 2, 3. This one you can draw out your tens. And then we have 4 1s. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like this. So I have 1 cube of hundreds. I have 3 groups of 10, and I have 4 1s, okay? So now let's go ahead and write that out. So off to the side here, you can draw an equal sign, and we can say we have 100, okay? So I know my 100 is in my 100s place, so I'm gonna draw 1 here. Let's move on to the next column. So now I have 3 10s, so I'm gonna draw the number 3 to represent my tens column. And then I have the number, I have 4 1s in my ones column. So I'm going to write the number 4. Altogether, these base 10 blocks represent the number 134. Okay, so I wanted to show you on paper how you have to model it. I'm going to be doing it on my computer as well for some of these. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen with you again. So now we're going to represent my 3 10s here in the tens column. And then we have 4 1s. we're going to represent 1, 2, 3, and 4. All together in my place value chart, we have 100. So let's go ahead and write the number 1 for hundreds. We have 3 tens, so we're going to write 3, and we have 4 ones. Oops. So all together, just by looking at all those objects, this tells me I have the number 134. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next one. So now it says I have the card that reads 2 hundreds, 8 tens, and 8 ones. What is my number? So let's go ahead, fill in our chart. So it has 8 ones. We're going to draw in 8 ones in our column. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so I have 8 ones in my ones column. Go ahead and draw that on your piece of paper. I'm just going to be modeling it on my screen. And then it says I have 8 tens, so we have 8 tens. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's my other one. Forgot to drag that one over. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups of 10 in our column, in our tens column, and it says I have 2 hundreds. So 1 and 2. So what is my number all together? My number is 208. There's 8 tens and 8 ones, right? I'll make that big. So 288 is exactly what my chart here shows us. All right, let's move on to our next one. We have just a couple more left to do. So this is telling me that I have 8 ones. So what is the first thing that we do? We fill out our chart with 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so let's keep doing this together. So we have 8 ones. Now we have 6 tens here. So we're going to draw out our tens. So we have 1. I need to make these a little bit smaller here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now if you need to pause this video at any time to catch up and draw your number blocks out, that is totally fine. Just pause the video and join us when we're ready, or when you're ready. So now we have 4 hundreds in our hundreds column. So we are going to draw 4 hundreds in our column here. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so now all together, we can read this number as, let's count, how many cubes do I have in my hundreds column? I have 4. How many tens do I have in my tens column? Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of tens. And then how many groups of ones do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 groups of ones. Awesome. Okay, let's move on to our next one. So this is going to be our second to last problem here. So we have 2 ones, so we're going to go ahead and put 1 and 2 in our column here. Now it says I have 5 tens, so now how many tens am I going to put in my tens column? If I have 1, how many more tens do I need here? I need 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now I have 5 all together. And then it says I have 5 hundreds. So I'm not going, these hundreds are pretty big and they're not going to fit in my hundreds column. So we're going to put, I guess I can make them smaller. So we can make them smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I have 5 in my hundreds column. So now my number reads, how many hundreds do I have? Count up all those blocks that you see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can put the number 5 down. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 tens again. And then I have 2 ones. Therefore, my number reads as 552. Right here. All right, good job. Keep moving along. We have one more to do. So this one here says, I have the cards that read 6 hundreds, 1 tens, and 9 ones. So now I would like for you guys to first think about which column you're going to start with, and then think about how many objects, how many base 10 blocks are you going to put in that chart to represent, to figure out our number, right? To represent our number. So it's telling me I have 6 hundreds right here in pink. This is where I'm reading it, 6 hundreds. So I'm going to put my 600 blocks right in there. So I have 1, I have 2, I have 3, 4, 5, and then I have 6. All right, so you should have drawn 600 blocks in there. It's telling me that we have 1 10 and 9 ones. So which block here is going to be our tens block? Is it going to be this one that has 10 cubes in it, or is it going to be this block here that has 1? Our tens is going to be the block right here that models 10 cubes. So now I know so far we can write our number. We have 6 hundreds, so I'm going to write my 6 in the hundreds column. I have one group of tens, so I'm going to write my 1 to represent one group of tens. And then it's telling me I have 9 ones. So we are going to draw 9 ones in our ones column. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So all together, we have 600. We represented that by 6 right here. We have one group of tens, and then we have 9 groups of ones. All right, boys and girls, I know that was a really packed lesson. I hope that you feel a lot more comfortable doing place value, and I hope that you feel comfortable representing each place value by a base 10 block. And now you know exactly how much the value holds in those place values, right? So now on your own, I want to challenge you guys to write this number down, write this number sentence down. So write 9 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones. I want you guys if you have free time, please do this. If not, it's okay. But in your chart, go ahead and write or draw out exactly how we were doing this by identifying how many hundreds we're going to put in our hundreds column, how many tens we're going to draw in our tens column, and how many ones we're going to draw in our ones column. That is your challenge for the day in your free time. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson so much. I had so much fun teaching it. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.